Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 3 of the North American Grand Prix Monday night GT2 Championship. Coming to you live from Road Atlanta in Georgia somewhere. Brad Maris is with me once again this week. Brad, welcome to the show. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I also, Road Atlanta once again, a real crowd favorite, as mentioned last week and throughout the seasons here at NAGP. 4 official contests here at this Road Atlanta track, Al, and if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves, a couple fun races here and there as well. So the drivers know this place really well. It's going to be a hell of a race.
Yeah, they do know it well. It's a crowd pleaser. People really love this track, and we're in for a good show here tonight, hopefully, knock on wood. We got a track here, Brad. Pretty I'll tell you what, it's it seems longer than it is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's 2.5 miles, but it goes by quick. Let's take a quick look at the track map tonight.
Yeah, it does go by pretty quick. I tell you, part of the reason for that are a couple very long straightaways, particularly on the back straight there coming off of turn 7. That is one super long blast, one of the longest we're going to run here this season, actually. So cars really get to flex their the horsepower and muscle, and some cars, of course, will have some advantage with that coming down that back straight. So guys could elect to take a little bit of downforce off and maximize that top speed.
Talking about that back straight, for me, I think the two most important corners here would be the exit onto that back straight. Very important to get that right, and then that final left-right complex before you go up the hill. But we have moved over to qualifying, Brad, and ideal temperature, 85 degree, a little muggy, track temperature, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It looks like we got a good day of, good afternoon of qualifying here tonight.
Yeah, looking pretty good. We've run into some weather here in the past, and it has caused some havoc throughout the field, as will happen when that wet stuff falls. But yeah, absolutely right. So far, so good. Now, these guys, you mentioned it kind of seems to drive a little shorter than it appears, this track, in terms of lap times, but it is a relatively short track in the end of things, and traffic is always a big problem around this place. So these guys will want to bank a lap early so they don't get caught out by that traffic.
Yeah, we last raced here back in, nearly a year ago to the date, July 28, 2014. It looks like it was a wet qualifying session back at that time. John Luden got pole, but in the Audi R8. Chris Moses in practice was looking quite racy here tonight, Brad, setting the best time in that practice session as we follow him around here on his outlap. But harken back to, let's see, December 3rd, 2012, which was a race previous to last year. Preto with a 1:18.9 in qualifying. I think Moses already bested that in practice. So look for the times to be in the low 1:18s, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so. So here we are starting off with Chris Moses. A couple blind corners around here. This one in particular, turn 3, a tough little right-hand corner these guys are going to have to be careful on at the start when the field's bunched up in particular. And this is almost a flat out. You definitely do want to be flat out there, but it's a tricky entry, and you have to mind your P's and Q's if you want to get through there. Just so.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, it got a little sketchy going in through the S's there. Had to lift a little bit and then caught a wheel off in the gravel pit. But Aaron Parsons also looking quite racy here this afternoon or this evening. And in that Aston Martin, very fast car, is going to perform well around here, Brad.
And it's a car that has won here in the past, also, it should be said. So Aaron Parsons not only a holder of a prior win here at this track, but also a car that has won as well. So a couple good things in favor of Aaron Parsons here tonight. I am liking his chances out.
So Parsons a little off the pace here, just under 2/10 off in the final sector. Second sector, sorry, as he Approaches the start-finish line here. Very fast sweeping right-hand corner onto the straight. Bang, the second. Alex White jumps the provisional pole with a 1:19.2. Parsons right behind him. Mike Trussler making his way out. Currently slotted into third. Getting out of people's way. But Mike with a great job last week. Getting his first podium finish here at NAGP at Hockenheim. So kudos to Trussler.
Yeah, absolutely, and staying ahead of teammate and current points holder for the championship here, Alex White. So that is quite a feat in and of itself. Mike Trussler, as you say, looking very nice last week, and in a good points position also.
The guy who's performing well, Connor Swain here, also in a Viper, currently sitting in 5th. Follow him down the very long back straight here at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, and that's where that Viper is really going to be put to good use down there. That car has a lot of horsepower, and Connor Swain will make the best possible use of it tonight.
Makes his way down the hill to the start-finish line. No improvement. And Parsons has bested his lap. He's jumped to a provisional pole with a 1:18, right behind Connor. So Alex White now on a flyer with a bit of traffic up ahead of him. He's got Porsche, one of the Mosas from 05. That's the guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's parked.
Yeah, that was his third timed lap, which is interesting. So the tires are actually going to work best on their second timed lap, but you don't really want to take them to 3 timed laps, because then you're having to carry too much fuel. So that was interesting. But Parsons, Alex White both set their times. They're on their second timed lap.
Salem Montgomery sitting in third as we pick up now Chris Moses on a flyer here. With some traffic up ahead, should not pose any problem here. He's got plenty of gap at his rally out ahead on the outlap.
Yeah, maybe. Might, depending on the type of run he gets off of that very tricky turn 7 corner. You mentioned that corner, Alan. It is very difficult to get through that corner with speed and to carry that speed onto this long straight. Very tricky.
Kind of pushed out wide a little bit there. Had a tough time getting the car to turn, but it's about half a second off in the second split.
He's going to be a little disappointed of having to scrub off that first attempt. He did not have any traffic in front of him, and that free space at this track is at a premium here in qualifying.
So to 4th goes Chris Moses.
Yeah, I think that time...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Al. I think that time we saw in the official practice was an 18.6, so we know there's some room for improvement there from Chris Moses.
Ian Jolicoeur tonight in the Audi R8. He's kind of switched over from the Cadillac this evening. And Ian's currently sitting in 6th on an outlap. David Poole now just starting his lap in the Moser, running in currently in 7th. Right along with David here.
Yeah, David not off to the best start to this season that he'd like, but you know, he's not too far behind in this points chase, though it'd be very early. There's still lots of room for him to improve, and I think he's liking this Mosler this season now.
Yeah, I think they've shown its potential. It's a good car. I think a lot of people have had a hard time figuring it out in the past. But the car has won races. It's won a championship, I believe. And definitely a good car. So David Poole and John Luke put it to good use. We're good behind here on this lap.
Yeah, and so too were the practice times for David Poole, so not exactly sure what's up with that.
David Poole to the line. No improvement. Picked up a bit of time. Yeah, his teammate right behind him in 10th, John Lydon. In 11th, Andres Preto. languishing back. He's got some success ballads here tonight, so I got to wonder how that's playing into his qualifying efforts here, but he's making his way out on track. Kevin Miller currently in 12th. Yeah, I thought Kevin Miller, once again, had a great start to the race last week, was in the top 10, but kind of faded there near the end. These races only went 30 minutes. These guys would be battling for the championship.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to comment quickly. That was Kevin Miller surviving some extremely tough conditions. Remember, that race started off very, very damp, kind of almost wet. And yeah, man, he survived those conditions very well. But then when it started to dry out, that's when he faded.
Exactly. So no improvement there. David Rowley in 14th. Jaime Moore. Looks like he's on a flyer here. Got Corvette just ahead of him. Yeah, Jaime's way off the pace. Marty Uren in 16th. Rodrigo Triana early back in 17th. Run down the field here. This over. About 60 minutes to go here in this qualifying session. Jared Keene in 19th. Eric Chandler back in 20th. Mike Monahan currently in 21st. These guys moved from the BMW for this race into the Cadillac. So it's going to be Cadillac for the rest of the season for these guys. A surprise move, I think. Kung Fu Racing moving out of the Cadillac. I think a lot of people were surprised by that. People really like this car.
You know, I think that the results. Whoa, sorry, I was watching something. I think the results starting there at the Nordschleife, they weren't very happy in the car on that track, and I think that would have been one of its worst tracks. I think also it was a bit of a hasty switch, but hey, you know, they've got plenty of testing they can do on their own with the Carpet, and they feel more comfortable with what they got now, so best of luck to them.
So Monahan, these guys carrying some weight tonight at Monahan and Esteban for switching cars, so these guys will be a little weighed down tonight. See what Mikey can do here, if he can improve at all. He does not. Way off the pace. Juan Monroy. Nice to see Juan back running in 23rd. Monroy about to close out a lap. It's a bit wide. Be a pretty respectable time here for Juan. Maybe not. No improvement for Juan. Matt Taylor back in 25th. A lot of traffic out there, Brad. A lot of guys running.
Yeah.
Iggy Giordia back in 26th. Esteban Tellez in 27th. Calderon back tonight running in 28th. And Mascarelli in 29th. And that C7 Corvette. Followed by Omar Gomez and Palacio. So back out front, it's still Aaron Parsons on provisional pole, and almost betters this time, but unable to here. Got a couple guys. Breto just improved to a 119.1. Montgomery Jr. these times very close up near the front. Jaime Moore just jumped up to third with a great time, 119.1.
And that was right behind Connor Swain, setting the time right in front of him. So the times are dropping drastically here, Al, and tightening up as well, as you say.
So we're going to take a ride here with Montgomery Jr., who's just a moment ago, I believe, was in fourth, already quickly falling back to sixth. A lot of guys in the 119 range. Only one guy so far in the 18s. That's Parsons. Yeah, so Montgomery way off the pace here. Moses continues to struggle in that one corner. Looks like he was on an outlap though. Mike Trussler
Well, he continues to struggle. I wanted to get in real quickly. I watched his last timed lap, and he had gone off in exactly the same corner on his last timed lap as well. So that's 3 times I've seen him go off there.
On board the Mercedes. So it doesn't look like he's going to improve his time.
Yeah, a little off in the Mercedes, and Mike Trussler, of course, still trying to get used to perhaps a little bit of success ballast. So Mike carrying 20 kilograms of success ballast here tonight. Weight added for that great finish last week at Hockenheim.
So Mike pulls it into the pit lane. David Poole. Looks like he's on a flyer. He's got Calderon ahead. Calderon moves over. Not sure, that could have slowed him down slightly.
And you have to say, David Poole languishing here just a little bit. David Poole and teammate John Luden not coming away with a great result last week at Hockenheim. Just 19 points for those guys, and David Poole a little off the pace here tonight, it appears.
It appears that way. He and Joe LaCour back in 11th. A little surprised by that, Brad. Joe LaCour not carrying any weight tonight. Jumps up to 9th in a car that has won here in the past, so...
Yeah, there's not much of a problem with the car. We know that. It's a solid performer, not only here, but at most tracks it's going to go to. So I don't know what's up with that. Ian, of course, not typically able to get a lot of week practice in over the course of the week. So maybe short practice here once again for Ian Jolicourt.
We're following championship leader Alex White. A little off there in the first sector.
His qualifying times have been extremely consistent, so he put in that 19 flat. There's no lap he has turned outside the 19.2 range. That may be all Alex White has got. Don't know if he's going to be able to come up with much more looking at his time.
Stay on board with him as he completes this lap. It's about 5/10 off. Put him right around that same time, Brent.
Yeah, it should. Aaron Parsons has improved, so Alex White looks like he can dip into the 18s here. It's a possibility anyway, but I don't know that he's going to get down to that 18 mid-range. Nope.
No, he does not.
Yeah, and the 19.1.
Preto, well, he's off the pace as well. So, yeah, I think you're right. These guys doubling up on their flying laps here. It looks like some of these cars aren't holding the temperature in the tires in that first flying lap.
Well, it is a relatively short track, so you can get away with pushing the tires a little harder. Also, you don't have to take quite as much fuel, I guess. So yeah, maybe 3 timed laps is okay, but the track temperature has gone up now to 106 degrees Fahrenheit. So coming down that long straight, that will put a lot of heat into the rear tires, and that's not going to help out some of these mid-engine cars. I'll have to be a little careful under braking there going into those final corners.
Look down the order here. Ryan Schleif, there he is, last week's winner, back in 12th. So carrying 40 kilograms, same amount of weight as the other Mercedes driver, Alex White, but Schleif having his issues here.
Yeah, well, congratulations again to Ryan for that incredible win there at Hockenheim. We may get a chance to talk about that a little bit more here in our warm-up session, but in the meantime, you're right, a little bit off the pace, maybe suffering a little bit of letdown after that emotional win last week.
On board here with David Rowley. What Rowley can do here. No improvement for Rowley. Out of your end, closing out a lap. No improvement for Marty. Yeah, a little surprise here. We got Monroy back in 17th, Brad. Surprising to see Juan this far back.
Yeah, indeed. That is surprising. I have no idea why that would possibly be, but again, I'd have to assume it maybe a little bit of lack of practice. I did have a quick update here toward the front. We've been mentioning David Poole being a little off the pace. Well, he has jumped up into the 3rd spot here provisionally. Just 7 minutes to go in this qualifying, so a 19 flat for David Poole.
So Poole has finally figured it out here late in this qualifying session. Ooh, everybody coming out into the pit, out of the pit lane now. Get those last couple laps finished up.
Yeah, this is the last blast, so for the guys that haven't gotten a lap in yet, haven't encountered traffic, the pressure's really starting to mount, and the frustration could as well here if they run into some more traffic.
Right along with Chris Moses, gets it right that time. Ooh, he's just off. 0.06 of a second off Parsons' first sector time. Moses on a flyer.
Whoa. Oh! Big slide coming around there, and now the pressure really does mount. Yeah, you take a look at those times, you go, okay, yeah, here we go. Now I got a chance at this thing, and it's so easy to overdrive at that point. I think Chris had that going on just a little bit, but the second sector's coming up.
Yep. That's about 0.5 of a second there. See what he can do here. He can make any of it back up in this final sector.
Boy, Aaron there at the top has put down just a blistering time. I thought these guys would get a little closer to him by now, Al, but it just hasn't happened.
So Moses does not improve.
Ouch.
Yeah, he had that first sector time. And, big slide there on the exit going turn 7. I think that's turn 7 and 8, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
Montgomery Jr. now 0.4 off the fastest time. Heading into the final couple corners. So
yeah,
Salem
he's got a real
work his
chance.
way up here.
Yeah, if he picks up 1/10, he's going to pick up about 5 spots, Al.
To third. Wow, times are really starting to improve here for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, Alex White has checked in with a better time. They're still in that second place, but picked up about 0.3 of a second.
So 3 guys in the 18s, White, Parsons, and Montgomery Jr. now. Split, 0.5 off. Yep. Gonna bag it. He actually might be able to get one more in. Oop, David
Yeah,
Poole
should be able to.
dealing with a ton of traffic. Has to be said, a lot of these guys are doing a great job getting out of the way of guys on hot laps, from what I can see anyway.
Yeah, they're so experienced around here at NAGP that the outlappers will definitely do everything they can to get out of the way of the hot lap guys. But it's tough sometimes, you know. There's just nothing you can do.
Ooh. Tella's smoking the track. On a very low radiator here, Connor Swain. Let's see if he can improve. He is not going to be able to. Rato back in 7th. He's on an out lap. Chris Moses on a flyer. He's got some traffic up ahead. What Moses can do here. He's got his teammate just ahead of him. You know, he's not going to give him.
Yeah, he actually. Sorry, Al. He actually let a few cars go. He's going to save up for one final lap here. He was embroiled in traffic. Just couldn't make any headway through it.
Joe LaCour. 0.8 off.
Yeah, and this is Joe LaCour's time, though. I mean, this is when he does his most damage here, the last couple final laps.
No improvement. Schleif has improved 1 position up to 12. Remy Moore in 5th. Poole gets it all wrong. He's parked it. Montgomery Jr.'s on a flyer.
On a flyer, but it's a tall task for Salem Montgomery Jr. He's looking for a whole half second, and ooh.
Oh yeah, he's way off. Parsons has this Aston dialed in tonight.
Oh, he sure does.
White's able to improve here at the end of the straight. It's about a half second off there in the second split.
Yeah, that will not get it done.
Almost by one of the Janettas there. Moses is parked it. He's going to settle for 9th. Core, don't know if he's going to get one in. Ooh, we have a car on fire.
Oh,
Not sure which one that is. And about 40 seconds to go here in qualifying. Greg Myers, let's see what he can do. Oh, he's way off the pace. Rally 13.
yeah, put in.
Go ahead.
Myers had put in a good lap to start, but has not bettered that time, so has been slipping a bit down the order, and he brings it into the pit.
Oh, John Luden with a big lurch there in that Moser. Luden a little disappointed to see him. He's back at 14th. Taylor languishing back in 19th. I think he's going to be able to improve here. Oh no. White does not improve. That's going to do it. Session's over.
Yeah, a few guys toward the back, possibility of getting another lap in. Lou Mascarelli, possibly. Omar Gomez,
might be able to
just went
squeeze one in. Well, he does not improve. Well, that's going to do it. Tellez might be able to get this one in.
Lou did pick up a spot from his previous time.
Tellez does not improve, however. Oh, Gomez. Not going to happen.
So close, Omar.
Well, there you have it. Aaron Parsons with provisional pole here tonight with a 118.4. Alex White slotting into second with a 118.7, 0.3 off of Parsons. And Montgomery Jr., the only other guy in the 18s, Brad. Pretty impressive times, but look at the 19s all the way down to 17th.
Yeah, so it looks like the top 17 or 18 are covered by just about a second and a half, and that's pretty deep into the field to have times that close. It's a pretty staggering time by Aaron Parsons, and I think a Herculean effort matched only really by Alex White with that weight on. That is a very impressive time as well. So we've seen this before from Alex White, however, putting in those very good qualifying sessions, but having a little bit more difficulty managing the weight during the race. But from that starting position, he typically does a pretty good job of holding on to a good position throughout the event. We'll see if that holds true here tonight.
All right, well, with that session over, just waiting for, we got a couple, about a minute and a half here before we switch over to the warm-up session and wait for a couple guys to come in. But let's take a quick look at the Drivers' Championship here tonight, Brad. Here in GT2, as Alex White leading the field right now with 43 points. Andres Prieto 4 points behind him with 40, and Ryan Schleif, Mike Trussell tied for third with 33 points, and Montgomery Jr. at 4th with 30. But Ryan Schleif, big jump up in the standings last week after that win he had at Hockenheim, which was very impressive.
Yeah, and talking with him after that race and mentioning those championship implications, he seemed to be pretty confident. He didn't seem to be too nervous or anything about the prospects of that. But more or less, with the exception maybe of Schleif and Trussler, it's pretty much a who's who of who's up there. But there's a couple guys just a couple places down that you didn't get to, and that's Aaron Parsons and David Poole in particular. Now, Aaron Parsons on the pole tonight, already picking up an extra championship point. Those times are quite tight, and then there's a couple guys just right back we know will put in very solid efforts and pick up points themselves. So this championship going into next week's race, I think, is going to be very close.
So we'll take a look at the team championship. As team winning formula, that is Alex White and Mike Trussell off to a big lead here early on in this season. After 2 races, they have 76 points. Team Columbia Newies, that's Preto and Jaime Moore in second with 54. T-Brock Dambam, that's John Houston and Aaron Parsons, are tied for third with Kramerica Industries, that's Cuppet and Ryan Schleif, each of those guys with 34, those teams with 34 points. And Desert Dog Racing, Kurt Chandler and Montgomery Jr. with 30. But I tell you what, the only team right now where both drivers are really performing well is that team winning formula. Trussell really stepping up his game here early in these first 2 races. Columbia, T-Brock, the rest of the field aren't getting consistent performances from both drivers, Brad.
Yeah, well, it's that you're absolutely right about Mike Trussler. He has performances, and frankly, better than we've seen in previous seasons. And as a result, that Formula winning team, by all rights, well deserved up there at the top. We'll see if they continue to pile on weight onto that car from these successes, what kind of effect that may have down the way. But as I look at the team championship, the thing that stands out to me is that 05 Motorsports squad. So maybe liking the Mosler, but still having trouble putting in solid results at the Nordschleife, only coming away with 17 team points, and last week pretty disastrous 9 points at Hockenheim. So those guys have got to get their act together quickly if they want to claw back into this thing.
Yeah, we got Poole starting for 4th tonight, and Luden back in, I believe, 14th. So he's got his work cut out for him tonight. But if you're joining us right now on the broadcast, you're watching live coverage of our Monday night GTR2, GT2 League at Road Atlanta. And if you want to follow some live timing here tonight, if you're watching on Twitch, you can just click on the Road Atlanta banner. That will take you to the live timing. Or if you're watching on the NAGP site, just click on GTR2 live timing. And you can follow the gaps out on track during the race tonight. So it's a pretty useful tool. We use it here.
Well, we have to. There's so much action up and down the grid that it's impossible to cover it all. So we definitely want to keep an eye on all the positions we possibly can, and so we have. We gotta follow it.
So tonight's event, we're looking at 41 laps. It's going to end just shy, if it stays dry. 41 laps is the max distance here tonight. Should end right under the 1 hour mark. Last time we ran here, Alex White, I think Brad mentioned it already took the win in the Aston Martin, that same car that Parsons is driving tonight. So obviously that's some tremendous pace. Marty Uren finished second in that event last year in the Mercedes. And Matt Taylor took third in the Aston Martin. So a lot of the same cars up near the front here, Brad.
Yeah, cars typically with pretty good power. In fact, pretty much all of them with very good power, maximizing that long straight. If you can get the power car set up well enough to get through that first sector, then you're going to have good results around here. It doesn't mean that the lower power cars can't contend, but I'd certainly say that the power cars have a slight advantage around this place. We'll see if that holds true the rest of the way. But I tell you something else, this is going to be a very quick 1 hour of racing. Always is around this place. A real barn burner. The pit stops will become pretty fast and furious when they do start as well. So these guys are going to have to be mindful of that strategy if they want to try to pick up a couple spots in the pits.
Well, we talked about last week's race for a little bit about the damp conditions, but let's keep in mind Brad Nordschleife also started wet. I don't think we've had a dry race, a completely dry race yet this season. So,
good point.
Yeah, so these guys definitely have had their wet weather practice. So most of these guys should be prepared. But like you mentioned earlier, this race was hindered a little bit by the rain. So we'll have to see how that turns out. So we do use a random weather mod, and it can be quite unpredictable at times here, so we'll just have to see how it goes.
Well, those thunderstorms can pop up pretty quickly there in Georgia, Al, but I tell you something else about the weather we've had this season is it's been changeable. It's not like we haven't had, a steady rain throughout the course of a race. It's always been damp going to dry or dry going to wet or some such thing. So that's also throwing some wrenches into the gears too. And quite a few guys have been grumbling a bit about their tire choices here the last couple weeks, but that's just part of the deal. And yeah, it makes for some fun, interesting times.
Yeah, we've also seen some interesting strategies as well play. A lot of guys, we saw a lot of guys last week double stint tires. Are we going to see the same this week?
It's a possibility around this place. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something we got to keep an eye on. Andres Prieto has a tendency to do that nearly every race. He's been doing a lot more. He's been doing that a lot more in recent seasons than he has in the past, I would say. I think a lot of guys have seen his success at times doing that. He's followed suit, perhaps.
Well, you save about 20 seconds running a double stint in the pits, and that 20 seconds can 20 seconds is a lot of seconds versus some of the competition around this place. These guys run perhaps a whole stint trying to gain just a second or two over their next closest competitor. Of course, you do give up that time on track on the worn rubber, so it's always a judgment call. If you can keep those tires in good shape, that's always to your advantage, and some guys do it better than others.
Yeah, well, last week was a perfect example of that, as we saw Ryan Schleife take tires in his pit stop. Most of the guys in front of him did not, and he quickly reeled a lot of those guys in, including Prieto, and got by him pretty midway through his second stint, and ultimately went on for the win. So.
Yeah, sure did, and part of that is a strategy call as well. If you recall, he actually had a bit of a lead going into that pit stop, so could afford to give up some of that time.
All right, so looks like it's going to be a dry start to this one. 79 degree ambient, 93 degree track temperature just went up. So we're going to run down the starting order here tonight. From pole, Aaron Parsons second, Alex White, Montgomery Jr. is going to start third, David Poole fourth, and Jaime Moore is going to start fifth.
Yeah, Connor Swain put in a nice time for 6th. Andres Prieto takes 7th. Mike Trussler in 8th. Chris Moses came up to 9th. Angela Korn 10th.
Ryan Schleif's going to start 11th. Greg Myers 12th. David Rowley 13th. John Ludden's going to start 14th. And Rodrigo Triana 15th.
Kevin Miller takes 16th. Marty Wren is in 17th. John Houston takes 18th, maybe languishing a bit. Juan Monroy as well in 19th. And Matt Taylor in 20th.
Wathen's going to start 21st, Kirk Chandler 22nd, Jarrett Keene 23rd, Sam Rolfe 24th, and Mike Monahan 25th.
Lou Mascarelli takes 26th, Iggy Shorda in 27th, Esteban Tellez takes 28th, Sergio Calderon 29th, Omar Gomez 30th, Brian Story 31st, Esteban Palacio 32nd. That's going to do it, Al. 32 starters tonight.
Yeah, this is always an interesting start, Brad. this track. Pretty tight grid.
Yeah, very tight grid, and that it extends all the way past that the front straight there, I guess you could call it. It's very short, back to the entrance of that corner. So the grid is tight and kind of meandering around the track.
Yeah, these guys are gonna have to mind their. Take a little easy here at the start, especially entering the S's and turn 7 and especially turn 8. You see a lot of action. Hopefully not tonight, but we'll see how it goes. We're about to go green from Road Atlanta, round 3. As Parsons with a tremendous start off the line. Alex White had a great start as well, but it's going to be Parsons leading the field into turn 1. Ooh, Moses with some contact. One of the Vipers looks like got into him. Might have been Rally. Looks like it might have been Connor Swain. So Moses hangs on to that 9th spot, but not without some contact. Looks like the rest of the field getting through okay, Brad, as they weave their way through the S's.
Yeah, a bit of a schmozzle toward the back, but yeah.
So White really under the tail of Parsons here in this first lap. Joe LaCour having a look on the inside of Swain. It looks like Moses has made his way past Swain. Run down to turn 9. Parsons hangs on to the lead. Jaime Moore has jumped out ahead of David Poole into 4th. Poole falling back to 5th. Moses already up to 7th. Made his way past Trussler as well. Looks like he got by him there. Down the back straight.
I tell you, one thing these guys are going to have to be careful of. These minor contacts can cause quite a bit of speed deficiency down that back straight with aerodynamic damage, so they're going to have to be careful not to accrue too much of that aerodynamic damage.
Rally with a big lurch. These Vipers of Rally and Swain fallen victim to a couple overtakes already. Trussell having a look on the outside of Moses. Going to hang on to that position. Side by side.
Boy. As you watch that, there is a little bit of battle going on for the lead here as well. Alex White early on really hounding down Aaron Parsons.
Trussell gets the pass made on Chris Moses. Moses now going to have a look. Ian going to follow suit. The draft's going to help both Moses and Ian. Ooh, Ian had a look in between the two, and both Moses and Ian get by Trussell.
I didn't see the contact you're talking about with Chris Moses. I'm looking at the car now. It seems to be pretty clean, so perhaps not too much damage on that Viper.
Yeah, so far Parsons unable to shake White off. White doing a good job hanging on to the bumper of Aaron Parsons as this first 3 start to pull away a little bit from 4th place. Jaime Moore, Montgomery Jr. doing his best to hang on to this fight up for the front.
Yeah, you're right. It's hard to say. Yeah, lost somebody. Boy, actually showing Chris Moses now in 6th. I think Andres Prieto had some type of problem in the Ginetta. He is about to give up another spot here also to Ian Jolicoeur.
Yeah, so Jolicoeur looks like he's going to make that pass, and he does. So Moses with his sights set on David Poole.
Yeah,
further.
quickly going.
Go ahead.
Quickly going back to Andres Prieto here now, he is our second place in our Drivers' Championship. He doesn't want to be giving up too many spots here early at this Road Atlanta event.
Further back, Trussler hanging on to 8th, Connor Swain in 9th. Ryan Schleif has made his way into the top 10. Looks like he lost the position to David Rowley. Oh, I'm sorry, no. Take that back. Rowley's behind him. Greg Myers running in 12th. John Luton up to 13th. Looks like he's only picked up one spot here in the early goings. Back in 14th. Marty Red 15th. John Houston, last points paying position. Now we got a bit of a gap between Houston and Jared Keene in 17th. Story and Matt Taylor way back in 19th. Lou Mascarelli running in 12th with Iggy Giordia behind him in 21st. And the two Cadillacs, Palacio and Monahan running 22nd and 23rd. Monroy, something happened to Monroy. He's way back to 24th. Calderon, the other McLaren, in 25th. Looks like we lost somebody else. Kurt Chandler continues to struggle in that Corvette in 26th. And Sam Rolfe running 27th. Tellez in the Z4 in 28th. Omar, and then Kevin Miller in 30th. So that's your running order right now, but the battle right now is for the front, for the lead, as Parsons under intense pressure here from Alex White in that Mercedes.
Yeah, a couple things going on. The battle actually over 8th is quite intense as well. About a 6-way battle over that spot. But the guy I've been keeping my eye on is Chris Moses, who has started to reel in David Poole. Looking pretty sharp out there.
3 wide, the two Vipers mixing it up here. Ryan Schleif having a look on the outside of Connor Swain. I don't know if there was contact there, but Schleif gets by for 9th. I'm sorry, that was Rally, it looks like. Myers, Luton involved. Quite a train of cars here.
Yeah, and there have been some pretty desperate fights in and amongst that group, so patience is really going to be the key for these guys. Who's going to be able to manage their emotions and patience the best, I think.
Nice exit there, pulling up on John Wooden.
I keep mentioning the fights that you are not on currently, but I gotta mention Salem Montgomery Jr. He has begun to take back a little bit of time on the leader. The top two in front at the moment. Salem Montgomery Jr. about to make it a 3-way battle for the lead.
Well, Jolie Core has managed to get past Moses for 5th. But Jolie Core has found his pace. Yeah, you're right, as Salem hanging on to these guys. On board with Montgomery Jr.
Yeah, and I have to think at this point that has got to be Aaron Parsons' pace. I think that he does not quite have the pace of not only Alex White, but Salem Montgomery Jr. as well. Now, I thought maybe Aaron Parsons was just kind of saving a little bit, thinking that Alex White would drop a bit off the pace with the weight, but it just hasn't happened. So Aaron going to have to get on the ball or go to plan B, I think, here.
White now really close to the rear of Parsons, but then Aston just pulling away from that Mercedes. White just unable to get a tow. further back here as now Moses having a look at Joe Licor. Ooh, really close.
Yeah, a bit better straight line speed. I think if I'm Chris Moses, I think about kind of just tucking in behind and trying to get up there to David Poole. But Andres Prieto now lurking not too far behind that Chris Moses and Joe Licor battle. So might not be too much time to be waiting if you're Chris Moses.
This battle for ninth between Connor Swain and Ryan Schleif really heating up here. Well, it's been hot for a while, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one crazy battle, that train of cars going on around those positions. And, boy, nobody really outside of a couple seconds of anybody else on track at the moment.
Well, with Rodrigo Triana, he was up in the 14th position, but has fallen back a little bit. Now in the last one's paying position. He is right in the mix here.
Oh, Brian Story just popped up as a DNF, Al. So Brian Story looks like he's going to be out of this.
Oh, Joe Licor with some trouble here has fallen back to 13th. Didn't catch it, just saw him rejoining the track. And now sits in front of his teammate, Marty Uren. So not sure what happened with Ian there. Ooh, as looks like you might have had some contact with Moses, as Moses now up to 5th. Yeah, this looks like some damage between... Actually, I can't really tell if there's...
Yeah, Chris Moses now 5 seconds back at David Poole, so obviously there's some type of something that happened with him and Ian Joe Licor, which has put him back in this fight, and what a fight it is.
Yeah, it looks like some damage to the right side of Moses' Viper. Now Trussler, and wow, you see that train of cars behind Moses.
Yeah, it has all come back together here, so the positions may have changed, but the racing is certainly as intense here as it was at the drop of the green flag. The top three in front, 1, 2, and 3, are fighting tooth and nail as well still.
Well, with Greg Myers, you see Rally, actually no, that's Swain swinging out wide. Ooh, might have been a little more contact. Swain has gotten by Schleif for 8th. Swain is on a charge here. He's got his sights set on Prieto here in 7th.
Yeah, he sure does. And I was looking at that qualifying time and being a little mystified. I think it was outside the top 10 for Connor Swain after he's put in such good results this season, but here he's showing up in the race big time.
Run by Luden. Gonna have a look on the outside of Greg Myers. Myers gonna hang on to it. Got a nice Joe. Good exit here off that, I believe that's turn 9 or 8.
Yeah, these guys have real hopes for those and team aspirations here in that classification by the end of the season. These guys really need some solid points here tonight.
Swain having a look on the inside of Prieto, not going to be able to get it done.
Already a quarter of the way through this event, working lap 11 now as it stands, so just in another 9 laps or so these guys are going to be thinking about coming in for stops, and those laps do tick off pretty quickly.
So Houston's lost the position to Triana, so Houston has fallen back to 16th. Let's take a look further back. Taylor now up to 17th. One spot out of the points. But having a tough night, no doubt. But meanwhile, for 18th, we got Mascarelli and the two Cadillacs of Palacio and Mike Monahan. Really duking it out here. Jared Keene involved as well. Chiordia and Monroy. Ooh, as Chiordia with a spin.
Yeah, and that is going to affect the battle right behind him, I think, as he comes back on track. A three-way battle back there over 25th.
So Calderon and Sam Rolfe. Rolfe's going to get by his teammate. Kurt Chandler back at 26, unable to improve his position. Tellez 27th, Kevin Miller 28th. So had a little bit of attrition here, but the gap out front has not changed. It's been very static here so far, Brad, between 1 and 2.
Yeah, it has. I think Alex has resigned himself to being a little bit patient here. Just put as much pressure as he can on Aaron Parsons, who is absolutely unflappable in any circumstance. But he's going to do the best he can to put pressure on him and just wait for whatever opening he can get.
That's the problem. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Parsons has been driving great so far. It looks like the Mercedes is better through the twisty bits, and he just can't get close enough out in the back straight to really the only place you can pass somebody around here.
Yeah, well, it's without a mistake, right? But it's absolutely that weight ballast Alex White is carrying around from that from his success the first couple rounds. So he's only got himself to blame.
So take a look further back. Let's go back to the middle of this pack here. Moses, after that incident with Jolie Court, is still running here in 5th. He's put a bit of a gap between himself and Trussell. They were bunched up for a while after that moment, but it's like he's got his faculties back. But it's Trussell holding off. What's that?
I'm sorry, Al, a bit of a gap, not as much as I was expecting. Sorry, carry on, sir.
Yeah, that damage may be affecting his pace slightly, but Trussell doing a great job holding off Andres Prato. Swain and Ryan Schleif, these guys having a great run. It's just an amazing battle here so far. Let's jump on board with Ryan. Ooh, Ryan with a big moment there, right when we were about to jump on. Is Greg Myers going to take advantage? He does. Ryan catching a bit of that gravel as we were about to jump on board with him, and really upset that Mercedes, so losing a position to Greg Myers. Jolie, of course, it's back in 11th, so Jolie Court looks like he's picked up a couple spots since his off-track excursion. So now, ooh, Trussell looks like he's dropped the position now to Prato. We had just missed it, so Trussell drops 2 position now, falls back to 8th. Not sure if you caught that, Brad.
No, I didn't catch that. Also, Salem Montgomery Jr. and Alex White have fallen off the bumper of Aaron Parsons just a little bit. I don't know what happened there, but Salem Montgomery Jr. is actually making a charge on Alex White there for 2nd. And in any event, they run in the same order, but something happened up there as well.
Yeah, on board with Montgomery.
Yeah, he had definitely closed to within striking distance of Alex White, and next time I looked up, both those guys were about 1.5 seconds off of Aaron Parsons.
Might have a look here going into this turn 10. He's going to have a look. Not close enough.
Well, in any event, you have to be impressed with Salem Montgomery Jr.'s progress here the last couple seasons. I mean, right in that championship fight up until the last couple rounds last season, and really on form here for season 26 as well. So you've got to hand it to the guy here. A vast improvement. Always pretty fast, but really just not consistent, and that's what we're seeing the last couple seasons, is the consistency come in.
Yeah. yeah, for sure. He's been keeping his nose clean and running well, so that's what counts. But these guys are already coming up on some lap traffic. Looks like Esteban Tellez up ahead in the Z4.
Yeah, coming up on lap traffic, and as mentioned, already starting to approach a pit stop window. These guys already are in a pit stop window, actually. The fuel economy on GT2 class pretty good, but the stops will be coming before too long.
These guys working lap 14. Expect these guys to come in right around lap 20. Which will put them at halfway. Oh, this is going to be a tough spot for Tellez here. This guy's going to close up on him. Oh, looks like he's going to get out of the way. Oh yeah, good job by him. Gets out of the way of the leader. Nice job.
Newcomer Esteban. Yeah, he's a newcomer, but always very mindful of the traffic that's been around him thus far that we've seen.
So let's look further back here. Look at this battle for 6th. Still Preto holding off Connor Swain. Gap's pretty much unchanged. However, Ryan Schleif all over the back of Greg Myers for 9th. I'll go with Schleif.
Yeah, of course he wants that position back after the mistake we saw him make before. Ian Jolicoeur back there lurking too after his mistake. No doubt looking to take advantage of those two guys fighting up front.
Yeah, Jolicoeur got a good exit. That Audi launched him down the straight. And I believe Ryan is having the same issue that White is having with the ass. He just can't get close enough to that Audi down the straight. Jolicoeur going to have a look on the inside. And Schleif's going to hang on to him.
Yeah, pretty heads-up driving there by both those guys. And Ryan is in.
Yeah, so Ryan into the pit. So, yeah, Ryan carrying 40 kilograms of ballast as well. So, the same problem for White.
You know, and this is a pretty heads-up... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that this is a pretty heads-up move here by Ryan Schleif. He was getting pressured pretty hard, having trouble with making inroads on Greg. Now, if he does swap out the tires, he is going to have a pretty big speed advantage. The times are dropping here to about the tune of a second across the field here on the Warren tire.
So the gap, it looks like Montgomery Jr. has fallen off a little bit from White, and White has fallen off a bit from Parsons. So.
Yeah, that's a recent development for Salem Montgomery Jr. Last time I looked up, he was still within about he was closer than he is now, that's for sure. So maybe a small mistake out there for Salem. Oh shoot, I forgot to see if he was going to take tires, but you know what? Oh no, still in the pits.
Oh, it looks like Preto has come in. Oh, no. I'm not sure. He might have made a mistake. He's back at 12th.
That wing is looking pretty deranged on that Ginetta. I think he's made some type of mistake. He might have rolled that thing out.
Very interesting. Did not see what happened there. Preto is now back in 12th. Interesting development here.
It really is, and he was starting to make some inroads there on Chris Moses, so that's going to give Chris a bit of some breathing room, try to make his way up to David Poole.
Looks like Connor Swain with some front-end damage in the left front, so it looks like there might have been some contact between those two guys. Just assuming right now, but I don't remember seeing that damage on Swain's Viper last time around.
Yeah, and once again, I got to mention that Andres Prieto, of course, running second in our championship again early in the season. But you don't want to give up these types of points to Alex White if you can possibly manage it.
Meanwhile, Jolie Corr has quickly made up some ground after getting by Ryan. He's all over the back of Greg Myers now. Let's jump on board with Ian. Ian into the pits.
Yeah, a lot of these guys electing to take an early stop. So if these guys are stopping early, you have to assume that they're going to be taking tires. Guys that go past that 20 lap mark, you have to figure will be taking the double stint.
So interesting here. We have Parsons now coming up on a boatload of lap traffic. We got Chandler, Keene, and a few other guys. Now the time to duck into the pits and get away from them all. It's a tough call here, Brad.
Yeah, it is. Again, a part of it is, okay, Ian's going up on the jacks. Looks like a lot of guys are going up on the jacks.
Parsons in right behind Kurt Chandler. Had to check up a bit. Ooh, that could be... ooh, all three of them. The front runners are in.
Yeah, so you're right. It's not going to end up costing them, but it certainly can. These guys, of course, running so tight and looking for just tenths of a second here and there. So those bottles
into
can
the pits.
be costly.
Moses saves it, gets into the pits. Trussler and Swain are going to stay out.
You know, we didn't mention that. It is a very tricky pit lane entry here, so you will see some guys having some difficulties with the rear end and some brake locking coming in. So it's a good time to reset for these guys that have taken damage. Maybe things not have gone their way, a chance to get a little breather, maybe a little beverage in them, and reset here for their second blast.
Parsons is away. Ooh, White gets out ahead of him.
Uh-oh. That could be
and
game
Montgomery
over.
Jr. right behind him. Well, I don't know. That Aston is very fast down the straight, Brad.
That's true.
And Montgomery right there. So those guys, great stop. I told you, that little check up there heading into the pits, and Kurt was boxed almost right next to him. So Parsons lost a bit of time there going into the pits. I think that was enough for Alex to get out ahead.
Wow.
That was
so it'll be interesting to see
the aerial cam from the blimp. Got a good look at the pit lane. Sorry, go ahead, Brad.
No, yeah, hey, gotta love that blimp. I'm just watching the action, curious to see how the pit stop cycle is going to shake out when everybody does make their stops. Don't know who we lost.
So these guys rejoin. White rejoins in 7th.
I can tell you, Moses made up
Sorry, go ahead.
a lot of ground.
Ooh,
It was just...
Garner Swain has stayed out. He's currently leading. Greg Myers has stayed out as well, as has Luden.
Yeah, as mentioned, all those guys about 1 second off of their best lap pace here, so the war in the rubber definitely having an effect.
Rally in 7th. I don't believe Rally has pitted yet. Giordia in 8th. Ooh.
Hey, how much that blimp take out of our production costs anyway?
They cut us a deal. Got us a break. David Poole is lost a bit of time to Moses in the pit. So yeah, you mentioned Moses' pit stop, and yeah, he had a good stop there. The track Pretty, track temp's gone up a little bit. 100-degree track temp. 81-degree ambient.
Yeah,
So
Connor
Luden
Swain and John
Swain's
Luden
in.
now pulling it. Yeah.
Greg Myers, he stayed out.
Yeah, still just now to halfway in this race.
Wow, so what a turn of events. Carson was leading the first stint. Yeah, it wasn't much. I mean, it wasn't enough there. It's not like Chandler made a mistake or nothing, but you know, it's just it seemed like it was enough hesitation by Parsons and enough hesitation for him to get in his box that it cost him those precious seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think most guys are going to be going ahead and slapping on a fresh set of rubber. Gregory Myers and Iggy Stewart, and they are, I think, the last of our stops.
Montgomery now putting pressure on Parsons, having a look on the inside into that back straight. So Parsons doing his best to reel in Alex White. He's under intense pressure here from Montgomery.
Yeah, and that's not going to make it easy for him to kind of put his head down and try to claw back that time to Alex White, but the gap has opened up just a little bit here, ever so slightly, to that first position.
Got Lou in between these guys.
Did Ian go?
It looks like Ian is out.
Yeah, he must have disconnected. That must have been the disconnect we heard out.
So Parsons and Montgomery Jr. get by Mascarelli without issue. And Greg Myers rejoins in fourth. So you gotta think Myers is double stinting. Rally as well.
Yeah.
So these guys are gonna. Oh, and Chris Moses has really made up a lot of ground on David Poole here.
Yeah, I think Chris Moses actually had pace, maybe close to being able to run the front runners, but that damage really hindered him early on.
Well, Poole not putting up much of a fight. I think he actually let Moses pass here. Not sure.
Yeah,
what that was about.
I think that Chris Moses simply had better speed, and Poole's
Keen
wanted to save as much time. In
a tough, precarious position there. So Chris Moses, David Poole, these guys battling Greg Myers and David Rally. Both these guys appears to have double stinted here. Looks like it's just going to be a matter of time before they get by, before Moses and Poole get by.
Yeah, the key is going to be coming off this corner right up here, the next right-hander, making sure you get through there clean to maximize your straight line speed.
It's a great exit by Moses.
I don't think Greg's going to make it too tough on him if he could help.
Well, you see the straight line speed of that Audi. It's not making it easy for Moses to get by.
No.
One of the Cadillacs having a moment. Oh, it got a puncture. That Cadillac's got a puncture, so that explains that. Okay, so that gap between White and Parsons appears to be coming down.
Yeah, a little bit. Just now, I think lap traffic kind of playing a role with those gaps, opening and closing them just a little bit here and there. And I'm trying to get a sense of those lap times. Right now it's obviously more or less even.
Yeah, but this battle for fifth right now, very close. He's got the motor this time by to get past Greg Myers.
You have to stay tucked up till right at the very last second. When you pull out and dump that air on the nose, it can be like hitting a brick wall. I think that's what happened to him last time.
Looks like he's going to get it done this time around. Well, Lou with a moment. Oh, Lou. Wow. Lou rejoining right on the line, a little bit off pace. That was a little hairy there.
Yeah, as you watch that battle, I'll give you a quick update here over ninth. Connor Swain, John Luden, Ryan Schleif putting a nice performance, and Andres Pareto coming back, now running in 12th position. That is quickly becoming a four-way fight for ninth.
Yeah, we just picked that up. Luden in 10th. Schleif and Pareto. So some of these battles have separated slightly, but still, the packs of cars still running nose to tail. Looking to get by here. Interesting strategy by Greg Myers and Rally.
That's a lot of laps to spend out there, giving about a second a lap or more per lap. So you got to do that over about 19 laps. That is it's a pretty tough ask.
So the report from the pit lane is that Matt Taylor is out of the race.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So it is Chris Moses now officially past David Rowley. Just made that pass through the last couple corners. Chris Moses to 4th, Rowley to 5th.
Let's take a look at that gap now. So it's now 1.3 seconds between White and Parsons. Oh, White with a moment there running wide on exit at turn 7. So they call this little kink here in the back straight, 8 and 9. It's two little kinks. Turns 10A and 10B.
Boy, and the time gap really comes down going down that back straight. That's obviously where Aaron has the biggest advantage, but you're absolutely right. It looks like he has settled down a little bit after that start, did Aaron Parsons. Now has put in his best lap of the race, and best of all runners, actually. So looking very sharp here, this second stint for Aaron Parsons.
That second half of this race, a lot like the first. Just tuning in, you're watching live coverage of North American Grand Prix Monday night GTR2 League, GT2 class from Road Atlanta. It's been a doozy so far, Brad. Very exciting race.
Yeah, it has. It's gone pretty quickly, and can't quite say the laps are quite running out yet, but they're going to be here soon enough. So we got to fight at the lead. We got fights all the way throughout the field. It's been a hell of an event.
Swap out front was during the pit stop between White and Parsons. Parsons pitted in from the lead, but White took advantage, got out quicker than Parsons, and this is the gap. In these top three the whole night. Looks like Montgomery Jr. appears to be fading a little bit from these front two, but the harder these guys push, this might turn around for Montgomery, as these guys are really pushing hard. Especially Parsons.
I was thinking the same thing, except especially about White with the extra weight on board. But I have to say, Alex White's times, that is, are not actually quite as low as they were to start that first stint. So he may be holding a little bit back. Of course, that focus does kind of change. You're running second the first stint, and you're in a particular mindset. You get out front for the second stint, and that mindset changes yet again. So the focus shift can hurt.
Ooh, big moment for David Poole. Just cut left side tire on the grass. He's off into the weeds.
Oh boy, and one hell of a battle brewing behind him. All these guys are going to be coming up on him.
He's going to rejoin in 8th, so only going to lose one spot, but quite a bit of time. That's going to allow Greg Myers to relax a little bit, as Poole is really, really close. But just pulled out a little too wide on the exit of 1 and cut that left rear on the grass. It's unfortunate for David, but no battle back there. He's got Connor Swain behind him, and Poole's teammate 10th. Ryan Schleif running in 11th. Andres Preto still mired back there in 12th, unable to pick up any positions.
Yeah, and I think
Go ahead.
I think the weight on that Ginetta, perhaps not the speediest car as such as it is anyway, adding on the weight, he is struggling down the backstretch.
Let's look further back. Marty running in 13th. John Houston and Rodrigo Triana running 14th and 15th. These guys pretty close. Monroy in the points now, running in 16th. Mike Monahan back in 17th. His teammate looks like he's might be a lap down here. 18th Iggy Chiordia. Mascarelli in 19th. Jared Keane running in 20th. Sam Wolf 21st. Tellez in the pits in 22nd. Calderon 23rd. Miller's running 24th. Chandler 25th. Palacio 26th. I think that's it, Brad. These guys, we've seen a bit of attrition here tonight.
Yeah, look, 26 out of 32 starters. Honestly, at a track like this, that's not so bad with as close as these guys run. So, still in all, look, those types of things are going to happen.
Continue to follow this battle for the lead. Taking a look at the laps here. It's this race quickly winding down. Got about 12 minutes to go.
Oh. Watching John Luden put it off almost into the wall coming off the last corner. Those guys are embroiled in a very close fight. That Andres Preto battle has calmed down somewhat, but still running very close to each other for the ninth position.
Yeah, so Luden gets by, Preto got by Luden.
Yeah, there were some very close moments there, and Luden had to make some very tough decisions coming through the S's there. Did a good job actually saving the car and not wrecking 4 or 5 guys.
Well, good on Luden for that. Russell continues his strong performance here tonight, running in 7th. Another solid run from him. Also carrying 20 kilograms of success balance. Let's not forget that, Brad.
Yeah, it's been a pretty quiet but eventful night for Mike Trussler. Absolutely right. He has kind of just kept that nose clean on the Mercedes and has gone about his business. There's some more solid team points if they can continue to run in this order, of course, for those guys.
Well, he's quickly closing up on this Greg Myers and David Rowley duo. And I'll tell you what, Trussler's going to be battling for 5th here in the not too distant future. I think he's got the pace on both these guys. He's on fresh rubber, as Myers and Rowley both have double stinted.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He actually should have no trouble getting past those guys.
Back out front, the gap is very close now, Brett. Between
Aaron just picked up
and White.
Just picked up boatloads of time. They're coming down the back straight that last time. It could have been Alex White having a bit of a moment coming off turn 7. Don't know, but it's all about the twisties here. Aaron just not able to match the speed of the Merc coming through there.
Oh, it looks like David Poole has parked it. Oh, no, that's me.
Huh?
Never mind. I'm in his car. Got confused for a second.
Yeah, watching that gap there, and Parsons to Alex White coming off turn 2, typically about 1 second. And Aaron Parsons picking up about 7/10 by the end of that straight. And then to see that gap fall away again there until they get back to turn 7.
Very close as White. Ooh, dealing with some lap traffic.
Boy, it's the full court press for Aaron Parsons now.
That was very close. I don't know if there was any contact there. I don't think so. But, wow, White really dodged the bullet there.
Boy, exciting stuff. Under 10 laps to go.
Tell you what, if he can keep it close here, he's going to have a chance.
Yeah, it's going to be key.
He is really close right now. We got another lap car up ahead.
Boy, this turn 7 takes such patience, such
This is the closest
precision.
he's been, Brad. Parsons, it's now or never.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
This is his opportunity. He's got it. Oh!
Oh! Are they?
Oh, White goes off.
Oh!
Oh, some contact. Oh,
wow.
Montgomery Jr. He's going to take over the lead. He's got it.
Wow!
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Wow, and you know there's some damage now to Alex White. Some aero damage.
And I told you, Brad, I'm telling you, he was just hanging back there, putting in some solid laps, and there you have it. Yeah, it was a little indecisiveness there from both. I mean, it looks like White was going to defend on the inside or try and hold that inside line, and going into that turn 10, and then White threw it off, came back around, and caught a piece of Parsons. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it just got loose coming off the grass, did Alex White there, and Aaron Parsons definitely comes out the loser in that exchange. He did a very good job, Aaron Parsons. I mean, he didn't have much of a choice having to back off through there. Yeah, it was bad luck, and I know Alex White would like to take that back, but I think he was a bit of a passenger coming back onto the tarmac. The car was just a little bit out of his control.
Parsons. The timing's a little screwed up here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, it just looked like White didn't know where to defend and left it too late. Interesting.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. It was now or never. Aaron Parsons knew that. I think Alex White definitely knew that too. So they were going to take maximum chances going into that corner. Like I say, Aaron Parsons was forced to back off. He knew that he was going to slaughter Alex White there. Alex White took it in a little too deep, but it was the chance both of them had to take. And in the end, it was a racing incident. The contact, I think both of them understand that. So it happened.
Wow, what a turn of events for Montgomery Jr. Now your new race leader here. Take a look at the laps. Working lap 36. 35, 36, I'm not really too sure. One of those. And, oh, you got about 5 laps to go. Montgomery just keeps it together. He'll be all right.
Yeah, I think he's looking pretty good after that Alex White contact. He should have plenty of speed on the straight to be able to stay ahead. It is Mike Trussler that I was keeping an eyeball on. We know that he's got the fresh rubber versus a couple guys in front that do not. He has made the pass on Gregory Myers, Mike Trussler to 6th, and looking to take out David Rowley in 5th. So, very nice run for Mike Trussler coming, possibly another position coming up for him tonight.
Yeah, we talked about Trussler. He is on that fresher set of tires and quickly starting to close up on David Rowley. But hey, you know, we give Rowley a hard time. He's had a great run here tonight, Brad.
Yeah, well, 5th place, that kind of says it all right there.
Rowley has certainly his best performance so far in a very long time, I would say. So, but looking good, but under a lot of pressure now from Trussler. Trussler, as you mentioned, probably going to have a look on Rowley in the near future.
Yeah, well, Rowley, once again, another one of those guys with proven speed. He's shown it in the past, but the consistency has been a little bit lacking. But we have seen that consistency turn around here in the last couple of seasons as well.
It looks like, is this going to be where he gets it done? It might be. Viper, well, Viper's got a ton of straight line speed, so this might be a little tricky for Mike. Unable to really get close, but he might be just close enough to look on the inside here. Is Rowley going to defend? Nope, not close enough. Oh, meanwhile, further back, Connor Swain with the moment there between himself and Greg Myers. As these two now in a battle. Swain really anxious to get by here. It looks like he's all over the place. Now having a look on the inside.
Yeah, laps are winding down. Interesting, Aaron Parsons has picked up a ton of ground here on Alex White. I don't know if Alex White is going to concede this position, and he is to Aaron Parsons. So I think overall that was a racing incident, but Aaron Parsons will be led through to the 2nd position by Alex White, giving that position back.
Yeah, there you have it. So that was a gentlemanly thing to do there by White, and yeah, I agree. I think you're right. It was a bit of a racing deal there, and when Parsons nearly took it off right after that. But meanwhile, out front, it's still Montgomery Jr. and that gap is now 6 seconds ahead of White and Parsons. So,
yeah, and that's the thing. The closer you are to the front, the more you just log laps. Even if you're a little bit off the pace, you know, the fewer guys you have to get through when there's a mistake in front. That's exactly what happened with Salem Montgomery Jr. He certainly had very good pace, maybe not quite enough to match those guys, but certainly enough to earn the victory here if he does cap it off.
So Connor Swain has made his way past Greg Myers for 7th. But this battle for 5th is really the closest battle on track. Oh, there's plenty of close ones out there, actually. You got Preto and Schleif going at it. Let's see, Trussler going to have a look on the outside here. Oh boy. And looks like Trussler's going to get the pass made. Nice job by both those guys. So Rowley's going to fall victim possibly to his teammate. Well, Rowley may have a counter punch here, Brad. He does. Oh, this has got to be frustrating for Trussler. Trussler going to hold on to that inside. Yeah, he's going to fend off Connor Swain. But Rally gets that position back.
Wow. And what a team effort for those guys. That being, of course, Rally and Swain.
Just having a look on. Ooh. Had a look on the inside of Rally, but nothing there. Meanwhile, further back, this battle for 8th. This is just, you know what's happening here is Rally's really allowing all these cars behind him to close the gap up to him. He's doing a great job holding these guys off.
Yeah, we're just down to our last lap or two, Al, so it comes down to this for these guys. Some late fireworks as the nerves have been tested here for the last hour. Got a couple more minutes here to fray them out.
And you see the traffic right behind him. Connor Swain now having a look on the outside of Trussler. Connor Swain going to try and get by the long way. Not going to get it done.
Oh,
a bit of a moment here. Prato. Oh, pull with a moment. Is that going to allow Schleif to get by? It does. Prato's gotten by Ryan. Unbelievable. Is Trussler going to make the pass here, Stick? He does. Oh, Rally. Oh, teammates taking each other out.
Oh.
Prato with a
So
big...
much for that great team run.
Yeah, Prato nearly loses it as well.
That's Gregory Myers now back up to 6th after all that melee, and that's it. Salem crosses the line out.
Salem, your winner. I'm sorry. A lot of action. Parsons going to take 2nd. White 3rd. Moses is going to finish there in 4th, we suspect. Let's see if Rally's got the leg. Oh, big spin. Prato gets spun there at turn 7. He's going to fall back to 11. Luden may be able to pick up that position here. Wow, these guys are really all over each other as Greg Myers gets by Rally for 7th. Truss is going to finish in 5th. Myers 6th. Rally 7th. Schleif, Poole, and Swain, your top 10. Oh my goodness. Prato and Luden heavy into the wall.
Yeah, he hasn't finished yet.
No, he hasn't, so he's out. 12th.
Oh. Oh, no.
Oh, this is going to be interesting here. This finished 12th. Houston 13th. Yeah, Luden's done. Looks like he's going to be 14th here. I think that's it. He's the last of the lead lap cars, so...
Yeah, he got down the opposite pit lane somehow to the left-hand side of the track.
Yeah, there was some big contact between him and Prato, and he went heavy into the retaining wall.
Wow.
All right, well, there you have it. Salem Montgomery Jr. with the big win. Let's have a word with him. Salem, do you copy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry for the late bringing you up here late. We had a lot of action here last lap, but hey, congratulations, man! What a great finish for you. You hung on to those guys there in that first stint, really not losing, maybe fading a little bit there before your first stop, and then White comes out ahead of Parsons, and those two mix it up. And right before that happened, we had talked. Me and Brad were talking about how you're just settling back there, hoping those two guys run their tires off or something, and man, it just opened up for you.
Yeah, it was an awesome race. My hat's off to those two guys, especially Alex, to be running that much weight. Thanks to my sponsors, of course, my teammate. This was a race that, man, it was about just hanging on. I could hang on to the guys if I could get out front. Of course, it's always easier when you've got clear air. But what I did notice is towards the end of the stint, their tires were wearing, and I was catching them. And when we went into the pits, Alex kind of dove over when he realized Ezra and I were going in. He dove across the grass, and that kind of caught me out. So I accidentally tripped XD and put 6 liters more than I needed, which was about 2 seconds lost in the pits. So I could have jumped him because it was great, getting great fuel economy and running great times. I think like 1:19.6 was maybe my fastest. So it was a great race. I mean, those guys were really throwing it down. I could get runs on them, but I just couldn't get close enough to outbreak them.
Yeah, and I guess that was going to be my question actually, is kind of being stymied behind them and watching the pace from those two. If you ever felt that there was going to be an opening for you at some point during the race.
Yeah. I was basically, I told my teammate before the start of the race, I said, I didn't get a good quali, kept running up on guys way too quick. The 3 of us just had super pace over everyone. So, again, just hanging on the back, and I was just trying to, I noticed Aaron, as he was out leading, as long as Alex could get a tow, he was good, and that kept me at a day. Got a good run a couple of laps before the pit in, and then I basically looked down and saw we were basically finishing lap 20, and that was my go-ahead. And as I said, I think Alex got caught out when he realized the 2 of us were going in, because if he's carrying that much weight, he's not going to get the tow he was getting, so he would have lost a lot more time. So he did the wisest thing, but it was just kind of scary. I almost hit the wall.
Oh, well, I tell you what, watching it from our point of view, it was a great run. Not just you guys, but the whole up first through like 16, 17. It was just a tremendous race. So, congratulations again, Salem. What going into Mid Ohio next week, and to be carrying that extra weight? How do you think you guys are gonna manage the weight at that track?
I kind of figured it out last track, Hockenheim. I just got a really bad quali because it rained at the end. What I figured out for this race, it's a little trick about having that weight, and so I think I got maybe top 10. I think I can be somewhere between 5 and 10. I'm hoping.
All right. Well, you did yourself a huge favor in the championship standings, and we'll be keeping our eye on you next week. Good luck.
Thanks. Appreciate it, guys. Great broadcasting, and you put us some nice cars this time, man. I gotta try to get one of those.
Okay. Good luck.
All right. Thanks.
All right, Brad. Well, there you have it. What an outstanding finish. A bit of a circus show at the end there. A lot of these guys with some contact, and something tells me the competition committee's already getting lit up there with submissions. So we'll have to see what happens there.
Well, you don't, I guess I'll speak for myself. I don't mind seeing it so much toward the end of an event. You expect guys to take their chances. I'd rather see them save up their chances, taking their chances for the end rather than the beginning. But, you're absolutely right. Salem Montgomery Jr. is going to pick up quite a few points here on the guys in front. Meanwhile, Andres Prieto had a horrible night. He is surely going to slip outside the second place in this championship. But the guy that crossed the line there, last week's winner, Ryan Schleif, he came all the way back up to 8th after being stymied outside the top 10 almost the whole event. So really, Ryan Schleif, very nice job there to come home in 8th, and that is going to preserve a lot of points for him going into next week's Mid-Ohio race. Another great event.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that one coming to you next week. Same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll start the night with qualifying, followed by the 1-hour race. Until then, we'll be live with the Assetto Corsa from Silverstone. So hopefully Ken will be back for that broadcast. And I'll tell you what, that is some unbelievable racing. Hopefully some of you guys get some interest there. Or if you're on the fence, you should come and check it out. It's going to be it's a lot of fun. So until then, we'll see you guys next Monday night. Thanks, Brett.
Assetto Corsa Thursday. Thanks, Al.